coming off of 83, where this kind of avalanche, love and appreciation, and this kind of echo about my versatility as a performer, it's like an outpouring of just love that I have never experienced in 10 years. I love acting, and it's like, you think that 10 years down you'd get jaded bored with acting, want to explore some new avenue of creativity, but no, I'm just hungrier than ever before. My wife is very loving and very patient with me. She affectionately complains that she gets to meet a new human being every 6 or 8 months. It comes from the fact that I never look upon this realm of acting performance as competition. I'm not in competition with anybody. Vicky
Ran-
Lalwani, ex Ranveer Singh for TY.
Ranveer Singh, thank you so much for joining me at ETimes. It's so lovely to see you after a long time. And there's a lot to ask you today, not just because 83 is released, but every movie of yours has more or less clicked. Your hits have been more than misses. Your performances are invariably praised. It's been a fantastic journey. Would you agree with me?
Yeah, it's been 1 decade, and there is certainly a case to say that there's been overachievement in this period of time. Um, Now, when I look back at the 10 years, just look at where I started. My chances were 1,000,000 to 1. It's just a miracle that I even got the kind of break that I got. Launched by Yash Raj Films, kid out of nowhere, just struggling for like 3.5 years, suddenly gets thrown into an audition, lands it, and gets launched by Yash Raj Films. I was the first solo hero to ever be launched by them, and then the movie goes on and becomes a sleeper hit, and my career takes off. And then films like Lutera, which in its year was the most critically acclaimed film of the year. Then getting to work with Sanjay Leela Bhansali in my first blockbuster, as they say, in Ram Leela, getting to be opposite Deepika. Um, then working with Mr. Bhansali again, it was another turning point in my career when I had my turn as Bajrao. That was my first. I got best debut, then I got best actor for the first time in 15 for Bajirao. And then Khilji, Simba, Gully Boy, now 83. There's most certainly it's been a glorious run, touch wood. Getting the kind of opportunity that I have to begin with, just the fact that it's miraculous. These are the some of the biggest, the finest filmmakers of Hindi cinema. You from Sanjay Leela Bhansali to Rohit Shetty to Zoya Akhtar to Kabir Khan and now Karan Johar, Shankar. These are the greatest talents to have ever contributed to our cinema, and to have an opportunity to work under them, to be shaped and molded by them, to learn from them, to be able to grow and evolve under their tutelage, um, and get these opportunities where I get to take these high risks with characters and present a diverse range of characters and showcase versatility in my repertoire as a performer. I'm very grateful for the opportunities, and I'm really grateful for the love and appreciation of the audience. Coming off of 83, where this kind of avalanche, love and appreciation, and this kind of echo about my versatility as a performer, louder than ever before. It's actually to an unprecedented volume, and an emphatic volume at that, an emphatic echo. The effusiveness and emphasis that people are you know coming pouring their love out. It's like an outpouring of just love that I have never experienced in 10 years. It fills me up with energy and enthusiasm, um, because it's like 10 years. So it's like this is the start for the next 10 years.
But Ravi, let me ask you upfront, does it put pressure on you? Because, once you become a bankable actor, a bankable star, does it put pressure on you with every movie? Do you get these pangs of anxiety, uh, maybe towards the middle of the making of the film, or when it approaches a release?
Yeah, not really. Because I'm very realistic in my expectations of the films, and for me there is um a, a great joy in working in films. I feel very I love acting, and it's like, you think that 10 years down you'd get jaded bored with acting, want to explore some new avenue of creativity. But no, I'm just hungrier than ever before, and I'm grateful for these wonderful opportunities, and I am having a blast doing it. It's just so much fun exploring. Um, after after working with filmmakers like Mr. Bhansali, it was revealed to me how this craft of acting is just limitless. And I would give the credit of, he's one filmmaker, Mr. Bhansali, who's really shaped me as an artist. Um, it's like he reveals to you that there are no boundaries, there are no limitations. This craft is limitless. There is so much you can explore. There is no end to how much you can transform into another human being. There is no end to how different you can be from your own persona, known persona, or any kind of persona for a character that you may have created before. There is no end to it, and that it's limitless. It allows you to explore constantly, and that's the beauty of it. So for me, I relish these opportunities. I relish new challenges, and I'm very, very happy exploring. So I don't I don't see it as pressure. I of course there are it each new character poses a new challenge, but I relish those challenges.
But is it easy to come out of the
I get
characters? Because the range इतना ज़्यादा है. एक में आप बहुत quiet हो, एक में आप you're screaming, shouting, playing to the gallery, and then again you are reserved. There's a whole list of movies, and I don't actually have to name them because it's been 11 years now. Everybody knows the movies you've done. Because I was talking to Shahid Kapoor last week, and he said, he can switch on and switch off. Okay, fine. It doesn't take him long to come out of it. What about you? What's the process?
uh um me, I'm somebody who really goes to great lengths and great depths into develop a character.
Hmm.
My entire vibration, my entire energy, my entire aura, and the energy that I carry with me, around me, and exude and project, it changes. My wife, for instance, is very loving and very patient with me. She affectionately complains that she gets to meet a new human being every 6 or 8 months. Um, and she, look, she's fooling around. So yeah, she's doing ishara from there. So yeah, she's very patient with me. She joked me that you just like a different human every 6 8 months. But and I joke back with her. I'm like, that's variety is the spice of life. At least you're not getting bored with the same kind of person. Sometimes I'm like Khilji, like this monster of a human, this tyrannical villainous figure. Sometimes um, I'm very flamboyant.
Till the movie gets over.
Yeah, I admit to it. In the
Hmm.
time that I'm in that character, my hair changes, my physicality changes, my musculature changes, my diet changes, so my gut responds differently, my temperament changes, my entire energy, like I'm saying, my entire aura, my entire vibration, and my entire projection, um, everything changes. Um, so so yeah, some some amount of personality disorder may have crept in, where I guess playing different characters for me is actually a process of each finding out who I really am, which I hope I will achieve to some sort of conclusion someday.
Which means Deepika is also still trying to find out because every 6 months she meets a new human being.
Yeah, I mean, there is a certain a core that uh, she's somebody who knows me so intimately that she sees the core of it, the the real the real core, as they say, the depths of it. The so is she's privy to perhaps that thing that I um, layer out different modes of characterization, but she understands my core. So that's I think the the significant and important part
I'm
for her and for me in city as my partner.
I'm jumping on to 83, Ranveer, and coming back to a few more questions about you later. But tell me, do you find it ironical that that innings of 175 by Kapil Dev, there is no footage of it, and जो footage आज रहा है वो सिर्फ आपका है.
जो सर इसके बारे में मतलब it is just absolutely surreal. um Kabir sir being kind of, you know,
Hmm.
deep meticulous filmmaker that he is,
Hmm.
we knew that no other ground in the world that looks the way Tunbridge well looks. So where he played that iconic 175,
Hmm.
we should on the ground where
Hmm.
he actually played it, on the pitch where he actually played it. And Kapil was there to give his cameo wala shot on that day. So I was in character shooting that in while he was standing there watching do it. So it was a very, very surreal, very special, unforgettable experience. Um, and I remember watching his face on the premiere night. I was standing on the side and I was watching him to the 175 on the screen, and he was in tears. And that they were, it was just, it was one of the most fulfilling moments of my life as an artist. Um, is with the endeavor which Kabir sir and I started out, that we should work out of our skin to ensure that this great and glorious achievement is immortalized in cinema. Um, we felt Kabir sir was standing right next to me, and we felt in that moment that we had that the job was done, and we felt both of us felt we shared a very, very special moment, very, very special.
But tell me about Kapil Dev. What's that one thing which surprised you about him as a person, not as a cricketer, as a person?
Surprised me is how mischievous he is. He is full of mischief.
Hmm.
Um, and he has uh, he has this unique humor, and he's full of witticisms, and um, he's uh, he's very young at heart. Um, and yeah, it's his mischief quotient really surprised me. He's so mischievous. He's up to some mischief all the time.
As an actor, Ranveer, how did you navigate this role? Because it's very common, I would say, very honestly, in heroes to say that I should be the all the time the center of attention. I mean, it's not just about 11 people. There have been movies where three people have been there, four people have been there, and heroes have been telling the directors openly that मेरे को बीच में रखना, मेरे को side में मत frame में रखना. And here is a film where all the characters are getting almost equivalent attention.
See, I've always been a very secure actor. I've always been a very secure person.
Hmm.
I know what I need to contribute,
Hmm.
and I know what others need to contribute. Um, I have been credited in the media for redefining, almost subverting what it means to be a mainstream leading man in contemporary time.
Hmm.
Um, and Part of it is, of course, the flamboyant fashion, which to me is just another form of expression. Just like to have fun with.
Hmm.
But I'm very cognizant of this public discourse that uh, is based on this idea of subverting the or redefining the meaning of a mainstream leading man in Hindi cinema. Part of it is this, that I consciously choose on. For me, I go by the script, story director, and the conviction of the film. Um, if I am in the ensemble, then and I'm the leader of the ensemble, just like I learned in of couple, what does it mean to be a leader? You have to do your bit. You have to make sure you're doing your best, and in that lead by example, but also make sure everybody in the team, and I recognize filmmaking is teamwork, it's a collaborative effort, especially ensemble casts. You have to make sure that as the leader,
Hmm.
you have to make sure you're also doing it. You have to give the tools to everybody else to do their bit to the best, in the best, make their best contribution, to do their best, to be the best. You have to give them space to perform. You have to allow them those moments to shine. It's when everybody shines, it's like that the entire ensemble will lift and elevate the film. It's when everybody does right. There is somebody very, very close to me saw 83 and sent me a long message, and there's something that stuck with me. They said that in the casting, Kabir, he picked out diamonds, and he made it's like a diamond, a chain of diamond, like a laddy of diamonds, and each
Hmm.
one of those cast members is a diamond, and in the centerpiece, and there is that's you, and there's this whole thing looks and feels complete only because each one has its own radiance. Each one is sharing radiance. Their radiance is making you look good, and your radiance is cast around them. Um, I'm very aware of what it means to be in an ensemble cast. I have a background in theater, and in my struggling days, I've been a part of the ensemble and not always been the leader of the ensemble. So I know what it means to be in that capacity as well. I very happily choose two hero films. I very happily, because that all comes from my security as an actor. I do two hero films. I do some films. It's um, I know what I have to contribute, and I know that as the leader of the ensemble, I need to make sure that everyone's doing their best. It's only then that the film will be elevated, that the entire piece of work will shine. Um, is through the collective contributed, collective energy. And I've heard this many a time before. Um, and there will be those films which will be in and as Ranveer Singh in and as Simba, Ranveer Singh as Gully Boy, Ranveer Singh in and as Jayesh Bhai Jordar. Those films are also there which are driven by a single character. Then there are some films which are ensemble films. You have to recognize that and be honest in your approach to those. I've never been one. That's not to say, Vicky Bhai, that I have not been at the receiving end of that kind of um, negative approach where a co-actor is trying to hog the limelight or upstaging me, or trying to play that hurtful one-upmanship game with me. Because that's not all. That's not my approach to it at all. I open my heart and soul and my arms and embrace my co-actor and encourage them and motivate them, and I want them to do well. I feel genuinely happy and proud, when today I see the kind of appreciation my cast members are getting, whether Sakib, Jatin, Ami, Hardy, Chirag, Tahir, um, just about all of them. I feel puts a smile on my face. It makes my heart glow. That's the actor I am. That's the person I am.
But Ranveer, let me ask you one more thing. With success, two things always come along. in the radius. One is rivalry and one is jealousy. Do you see that happening around
Mhm.
you? Have you really made friends? I mean, हम ये सब तो देखते हैं कि एक्टर्स पार्टीज में जाते हैं, सबको गले मिलते हैं वगैरह वगैरह, वो तो सब ठीक है. But do you think have you really made friends in the industry? Because they say it's always lonely at the top. When you're successful, you feel that you're alone in this journey.
Well, fortunately, for me, I have friends who've known me for 30 years. I'm, more than 30 years now. It's most of my life. They are my friends. They are my lifeline, my support system. I have my friends and family, and a very small circle of people who I believe are my. Um, Over and above that, I've had the good fortune of making some really solid friends along the way. Deepika, of course, I met for the first time doing a film, and she's my life partner now, the love of my life, and she's also my best friend. Arjun, when I worked with him, ever since that time, we've been like brothers. We're in touch every day. And um, Zoya, Karan. I've had some, like Rohit Shetty is like a brother to me. Not even is more than friendship, like a brotherhood, a bond of brotherhood. He's like a brother to me. So yes, along the way in the course of my career, I've been very fortunate to make some special connections with people who I'm very grateful that are a part of my life. Um, Not somebody who um, feels jealous or envious of others, and I also think um, it comes from the fact that I never look upon this realm of acting performance as competition. I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm just here to create what I'm here to create. I'm happy to, um, clap and applaud and appreciate what others are creating. And there's no, for me, there's no like, oh, he did better or he did better, or it's all in the realm of subjectivity. So, what is better or worse? There are just different. They're just different ways of doing things. So I don't view it as competition, and therefore I don't ever feel jealous or envious of
Yeah,
anybody. In
but
fact,
by
I'm very
jealous and
happy to.
rivalry, I mean jealousy and rivalry
I'm
coming from
very
the
happy
outside.
to. Yeah, and just that's exactly what I was saying. Actually, very happy to report to you that um, there are perhaps some talents that you may see, um, from the outside, whether it's all these perhaps in the media, they'll pit you against each other. People who are, when you look at it from that lens, perhaps you could say this is your direct competition, or this is your direct rival, or whether all of these people who you may think are my competitors or rivals, they're just friends who are hugely and they'll say appreciative of the artistic work. um it, it's they share their heartfelt appreciation, and I know it's not upar se, and I know it's not dikhave ke liye. I know it's felt and it's genuine. Good people, they are genuine people, they are themselves artists whose artistry I am appreciative of, and it's mutual in that sense.
So are you telling me that there is no amount of
um
negativity who comes and says, "Arey yaar, Ranveer itna successful hai," they are jealous of you?
I mean, I guess I'm far too protected by my guardian angel, um, that I don't think these types of negative frequencies, negative vibrations, I don't think they um, they reach me, they have any effect on me. They just uh, they're kind of, these negative energies are kind of powerless in front of the almost supernatural spiritual protective power of my guardian angels, which surrounds me. So I don't think any of it even reached me. It doesn't affect me
That's
in
great. But
any
if you had
way.
to do another biopic of any other sports person, who would you want to play?
Um, uh, Let me tell you, I'm in discussion for at least three. Uh, but I can't reveal anything, and I think you'll be. And not just, it's not even sports person. I'm in discussion for at least three sports persons
Hmm.
and two other individuals. So yes, a
Biopics, biopics.
lot of them are all biopics. Yes,
Hmm,
all
hmm,
biopics, real
hmm,
life, true stories.
hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'm in discussion for at least five. Now let's see. Each one
I had
is
heard
exciting
one.
than
I
the
had heard
other.
one, and I want to ask you. It's about a paraplegic swimmer.
I guess we should wait and give it its time. Like I said, I'm in discussion for at least
Okay,
five true,
okay, okay,
true to
okay.
as a bio, but each one is in a different stage of development. And as of now, my current slate. I have Jayesh by Judar, followed by Circus, followed by Rocky or Rani Ki Prem Kahani. Um, and yeah, hopefully one of them will develop into an extraordinary script, and you will hear the announcement very soon.
83, when it was being shot, it was being shot like a real match. It was not with cameras close. It was being shot, how you see the matches on national television. Now, as an actor, how easy was it to carry out your performance, or did it become tough, Ulta?
I think there was great joy to be in cricket whites on the field, because I am an avid cricketer myself. I really enjoy cricket, and I get a great amount of joy out of it. So feeling all day, I had no qualms or issues about it. I was really actually having a blast and enjoying myself. Um, I find a great joy in batting, of course, my favorite thing. Bowling, even fielding. I think it would be a trudge if I was saddled with a bunch of boring co-actors, but they're all so full of beans, full of humor, and so we had such a lovely cast that just being on with them, joking all day, doing our work, it was very memorable, and I cherish every moment of that shooting
We are running
process.
out of time, Ranveer.
All
We are running out
thanks.
of time. I would have loved to chat with you a lot more. Just two more lines I want you to say about Dharmendra, sir, Shabana ji, and Jaya ji. You have been working with them for Rocky or Rani Ki Prem Kahani. Would you count that as a blessing, if I can ask you pinpoint?
Yes, of course. I mean, sharing screen space with um, legends and icons of Hindi cinema is a huge honor, huge honor. Um, it always trips me out when I share screen space with one of my screen idols. It started off with Govindji, Anil Kapoor, Akshay Kumar, Ajay Devgan, now Dharmendra, Shabana Azmi, Jaya Bachchan. It's just because I was a film fan, a fan of Hindi films first. Each and every one of these experiences is very surreal for me. And there's a about my first day with Dharamji, which I will tell you in detail when we have the time. But yeah, it's very special, and it's surreal. Uh, Most times I'm just in disbelief that I'm on the same film set in the capacity of a performer with these icons. I have to pinch myself to remind myself that this is actually happening. And yes, it's another one of those really fulfilling aspects of this extraordinary journey of the past 10 years that I've had as a performer in Hindi films.
Continue this fantastic journey. We wish you all the best, and a big thank you to you from ETimes here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.